Cagewarriors 100 goes down this weekend in Cardiff, and a man on the card getting a lot of promotion ahead of this fight. No stranger to mixed martial arts on this island. It is a returning guest to the show and making his Cagewarriors Championship debut, Mr. Rhys McKee. Rhys, my friend, how are you? Fight week, excited I'm sure. Jefferson George, the opponent. How's everything up in Ballymena?
Yeah, everything's good. 3 days out from what you said, my Cagewarriors debut. It's nice, you know. Everything's a bit fresher this time. It's been a wee while since I fought. It was June 28th, I think. So it's nice that everything feels fresh, and I'm coming in ready and excited.
Rhys, we've spoken obviously numerous amount of occasions in the past, and you know we did the weight cut with you out the last time here on offtheball.com ahead of that fight with Terry Brazier. Talk to me about why Cagewarriors. Why was the decision? Is it because it's that path to the UFC? Because I know you actually turned down Bellator and their contract that they offered you. Is that the reason why?
The reason I signed for Cagewarriors is just that, purely their direct link to the UFC, and you know, the past has been done by so many before, and it's something that I definitely think I can replicate and do again, if not do better. So for me, that was a no-brainer. Bellator, I felt, would shut that door on the UFC goal down the line. So a lot of them jumped, and I didn't follow the herd, although the offer was there. It was very easy for me to sign for Cagewarriors instead.
Why, ultimately, you know, because, you know, in terms of, we're talking like financial amounts of money here, it would obviously be more beneficial on the short term for you. Is that the way you looked at it, as a short term resolution maybe in your pocket? Exactly,
yeah. Like, you know, I don't get me wrong. I could have took a quick fix to the money ladder and all that carry on, but like, it's not. I'm really not here for the money. If I wanted the money, I'd be in a 9-to-5 job and working for promotions and all that good stuff. So it's not about the money. It's about getting to where I want to get and wear the gloves I want to wear. And effectively, they are the UFC gloves, but for now, it's the Cagewarriors ones.
How do you look back on your time at BAMA? Obviously, you were a Lonsdale champion, and then you were a BAMA World Lightweight champion. How do you look back on your time? Obviously, there was the ups and downs as well with the promotion that you had on numerous amount of occasions. Is there maybe a little bit of a bitter feeling, or is it, you know, how do you feel? Do you look back on your time as positive?
Yeah, totally positive. I know we had a spat here and there, but I won a British title. I made my pro debut in the show. I won a world title. All my pro fights, bar one, was on BAMA, so it was amazing. I almost feel like in the end, like I was part of the BAMA team. You know, I knew everybody and their role within the promotion, so it was a fantastic time. But good things come to an end as well, and here we are starting a new journey.
How do you look at the Terry Brazier fight? You know, obviously he was the welterweight champion coming down, big, strong, physical kind of guy. Did you maybe jump at that fight when the opportunity came along, because there was two titles? Obviously, you know, he was the welterweight world champion, you were the lightweight world champion. It was a big fight at a big time on a big station in the UK. Was that potentially the reason why you jumped at that fight, or is there any regrets, maybe, should I say?
You know, me and Rebecca, my girlfriend, were talking about it the other day. I maybe took a fight too soon. Not that fight was too soon. Any fight would have been too soon. You know, I was straight out of the win with Tim. I'm back in the fight camp like literally a week and a half later. You know, so, and that was something I done when I was fighting Tim Barnett the first time as well.
Yeah,
I fought, you know, very close together, and I think that could have been a mistake, definitely. But I can't regret anything, because I learned so much from that night. And who's to say that what is happening would have happened if it went different?
Yeah, no, I texted you after that fight, and I was obviously over there for the weight cut with Ruiz. And the one thing, and I've always sort of said it to your mindset, you're incredibly mature for your age. You're a lad who's only like 22 years of age. The learning curves, you seem to take positives from everything, and it's quite amazing considering your age.
Yeah, I think there's a bigger picture in mind. Like, if I can come out of a fight with a 31-year-old Terry Brazier, known as a world beater, like a good record of 9-1, I'm still breathing, I'm still walking, I'm still healthy, I've still got family around me. You know, there's more. I'm not going to sit in a dark hotel room and cry. Life's still good, and again, the sun will rise again, and we go again, and here we are 3 days out now. So that's it. Like, it's really, I think a lot of people are hard on themselves with taking a loss, but there's don't get me wrong, going in with going in thinking it's okay to lose is maybe a bit different than accepting a loss when it's okay, if that makes sense.
You seem to bulked up an awful lot. Is that a result of the Terry Brazier fight and maybe sort of the manner in which maybe he dominated you in the wrestling exchanges?
To be honest, it was more to make my game stronger. Like, I'm 6'2", but I wouldn't have classed myself as very athletic up until basically my whole pro career, until this fight camp. Like, me and Arno Dos Santos of ADS training, he's really put a good plan together. He does my nutrition, he does my strength and conditioning as well, and he's just basically made me an athlete. It's the first time going into a fight I felt 100%. I feel more athletic. I've put on a bit of muscle and stuff, but again, my weight's exactly on point where it was prior to the Terry Brazier fight. There's literally it's the exact same weight to the gram. So we're bang on track, and Arno's an absolute genius.
I want to talk to you about that. Obviously, you know, the weight cutting, and I was there with you. I spent 24 hours with you, Norman and Ryan ahead of that fight, and I went through the whole process with you. You know, it's sort of very mix and match at times, but you know, the last weigh-in, you were on point. You were underweight nearly, I think. Talk to me about what you're going to do in this fight camp and tomorrow night, and obviously you're weighing, I think, at lunchtime on Friday, possibly Friday afternoon with Cagewarriors. A little bit different. It's not the early morning scales. Is it going to be much the same as it was the last time, your weight process? Yeah,
much the same. Again, I'm literally at the same point. Like, you could go back to them videos for reference. Basically, the weigh-in's a bit later. We don't weigh in. I think we have to leave the hotel at 1:30, so I need to be on weight by 1:30. But basically what that means is I won't have to do a lot of the weight cut the night before. Yeah. I'll wake up a wee bit earlier on weigh-in day and do a lot of the weight then. Again, it'll all be kind of calculated by Arno and Rodney. He'll be over, and we'll do the weight cut. There's no point in me being 1 pound off the night before going to bed. You know, it's just silly. So I think this has an advantage if used right. I think if I was to be on weight the night before and then wait to 1:30 the next day, then we would have problems.
Have you taken anything from the last weight cut that you're going to use for this weight cut in terms of, I know you used the bath, obviously the last time when I was there, something you hadn't really done an awful lot prior to that. Is that something that you're going to use again instead of the sauna? It seemed to come off you pretty good, and the rub as well you used as well was you know, that got you over the final few pounds.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we're going to go for the bath more this time. I think that's going to be the main difference, to be honest. We're going to try and attack it with the bath. Again, we're not in for, it's not a monstrous cut or anything like that. It's a steady cut, so it's important that we do it right and we do it efficiently. You know, there's no point in me going in to a sauna for 4 hours to lose 2 kilo when I could sit in a bath for 2 hours and lose 4 kilo or whatever the weight will be in the morning, if that makes sense. So it's getting the most bang for your buck, I suppose.
Yeah, mix and match, as you said, and clearly you found something that's worked, so you're obviously going to stick with that.
Exactly.
There you go. Talk to me about, obviously, this fight coming up. You've been working, I know, doing a little bit sparring with Joe McColgan, and Joe's obviously fighting Jay Herbert, a guy who you fought in the past. Is that more Joe coming to you, or is it just sort of suit you both because you're both obviously two of, you know, the best up and coming sort of fighters on this island?
Yeah, we've said it for a long time, and Joe was in New Zealand traveling, doing his thing. Yeah. So I think we texted bits and pieces when he was away, and we said when he came home we would do this, and it just made sense. We're both fighting on the same night at the same weight against similar styled opponents. So you know, it wasn't like I didn't reach out to him or he didn't reach out to me. It just made sense, and it's been fantastic, to be honest. They're all good lads up there, and they all give the push you need. So,
what do you make of the nickname myself and Peter Carroll have christened Joe McColgan with Fat Joe? Do you like it? What do you think?
It totally fits.
Apparently, he's using it on Saturday night. It's going to be interesting to see if he follows through with it. But anyway, that was a bit of good fun anyway. Rhys, talk to me about Jefferson George. Obviously, you know, a veteran on the mixed martial arts scene in the UK and Ireland. A big guy. This fight here, what are you expecting from him?
I'm expecting a puzzle. Like he's fought the who's who, as you
Yeah.
said. He always comes with something different. So I think a lot of this will work out in the cage. We'll see who's a smarter fighter. I feel I'll have to work a lot on the job. I'll have to read the movements from Jefferson and work out what he's going to do. And that's something that I feel is a really good attribute of mine. Like I'm able to adapt quick and work till that. But don't get me wrong, this is my fight, and I'm going to walk forward and do what I want to do, regardless of what Jefferson does. He can do whatever he wants, but basically it's I'll make the move first, and I'll be the man in control in there.
What do you expect? Like, obviously, there's high expectations on yourself. Is it about going in with Cagewarriors, a new platform, a new debut? And I've seen the amount of promotion Cagewarriors are giving you ahead of this fight as well. It seems to be vice versa. You're a guy, I think you realise that it's very important to sell yourself on social media. Has that relationship worked out well? Has that been refreshing maybe from your time at BAMA, where there was literally similar struggles to that, where they maybe weren't giving you as much promotion as you would have liked?
Yeah, like in this fight, it's funny. I feel like I've done less, because Cagewarriors, they don't push it in your face saying we need this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I've done bits and pieces on my Instagram, but nothing that ever get in the way of training, or nothing that ever get in the way of making me a better athlete. But it's nice to see that they give it a push when it is put out. It's been cool. It's been good. It's been definitely a positive experience so far. And
does that maybe excite you a little bit as well? That maybe they're, obviously it's a breeding ground. They make no sort of, they don't put a smokescreen over the fact that they are a conveyor belt for UFC talent. So they must obviously think very highly of you. It must give you a lot of confidence, working with Graham Boylan and those guys, that they are looking at you as a potential guy who could elevate themselves onto the UFC.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a compliment, I suppose, to me as well. But at the same time, it's how you sound, like I feel it's due as well. I'm coming in here with a 7-2-1 record. I've beat some really good guys. I have a 100% finish rate, so I feel it's due. I definitely don't think it's anything I don't deserve, and but yeah, it's a good relationship with me and Graham and Ian and the brand of Cagewarriors. So it's a good move moving forward.
How important is it, obviously, to stay grounded in times like this? Because I know you've been getting a little bit of attention up north as well, where obviously they've been a little bit media shy with mixed martial arts over the last number of years. But now it seems as though you're a guy who's getting a lot of attention. It's important, obviously, to keep level-headed with that.
Yeah, I think I'm more grounded than ever. To be honest, I feel like there was a stage in my career, not a stage in my career where I ever lost that, but I just feel more grounded and settled now within my career.
Why is that, Rhys?
I don't know. It's I don't know. I have a lot going on in my life out of fighting too. So I think before it used to be 100% fighting, where now it's 99% fighting. So I don't know. Maybe I'm maturing more. Like I'm just growing up, and more life experience will always add a bit of maturity and stuff. And I feel it's only benefiting my martial art lifestyle and my game.
Are we going to see a big statement on the debut at Cagewarriors 100? Obviously, a landmark moment for the promotion. Is this a statement from Rhys McKee kicking on to 2019?
No doubt in my mind that it's going to be a statement. No doubt in my mind.
2019, obviously, then a massive year. Is the first sort of push? Is the title even a worry for you, Rhys? Do you even care about the title? Is it about just getting guys in there, finishing them, and making statements and performances so you get the attention of the UFC brass? Because I know that's your end goal, obviously.
Yeah, I just know to be honest, I haven't really thought about the title. I just know if they put me in there with 2 or 3 opponents, and I finish them the way in my head I'm going to finish them, then they'll be begging me to fight for the title. To be it'll just make sense at the time. But I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, I need the title in 3 to 4 fights." That's Cagewarriors. That's Cagewarriors business. When I fight for the title, but whether I get to the title or UFC first, I'm not too bothered. But I'm just going to take care of business on my end.
I think Graham Boylan said that he's going to leave Ian Dean off duty till after this card, and a lot of the fights sort of get sorted out at the weekends, and he'll let him back in the office on Monday morning to start matchmaking again. Even if there is a big statement coming in on Saturday night from you, and obviously the promotion you've got, we've seen what you've done on the European scene here before with BAMA. is a title shot realistic off the bat if you get an impressive win?
What's not realistic? You know, if I go in there and put Jefferson away again, the way I see I will, and say they have a title match, and one of them guys falls injured, who knows? Weirder stuff have happened in MMA. Like, you know, stranger things have definitely happened. I don't think people would be like, this is a shambles. You know, it would be just. And
do you feel like maybe you're at an advantage going into Cagewarriors because of what happened in Bama? In terms of, you know, you're not starting from maybe the bottom of the division and working your way up because of the impressive performances, and obviously you held the world title in Bama as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, I mean, I've had 10 professional fights. I feel if I was to go in and they were to give me, like, no disrespect, lower level opponents, like, I feel that would be a bit of an injustice to my career so far. So I definitely think I skipped half the queue, if not 3/4 of the queue. Like, I put myself right up there, and after this fight, if it's not a title shot, I want someone who's that little bit closer to the title than me, and I'll overtake them, and that's how we'll keep chipping away at this.
Well, do you see a ladder?
I'll skip the ladder.
Okay, fair enough. We'll talk about different matchups, I'm sure, again. But Rhys, listen, I'm very much looking forward to the fight on Saturday night. It's obviously on the UFC Fight Pass on BT Sport. Very much looking forward to seeing your Cagewarriors debut. Always appreciate the time, my friend, and best of luck on Saturday night.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.